Hello and welcome back to another episode of the CQ the Watch Guy show with me, CQ the Watch Guy. Hope you're having an amazing day. I know I am. We are here in Orlando, Florida at the David SW headquarters. If you're in town, you know what to do. Come on by, stop in, say hi, grab a cup of coffee, look at some watches with us, and just come on, take a load off and take a little break from the parks. And remember, if you're in Miami, you could always check out David SW Miami, which is in the Design District, just literally a minute away from the Design District. Go say hi to Jose and Jaquil. Great guys down there, great team. Get a cafecito, talk some watches, have a good time. That is what we are here for. I know it's been a little while, but we're back. Had a little bit of a storm situation going through, but now we are back up and running at full force and just in time for some amazing news out there. So we have the first Patek Philippe collection that has been released in over 25 years. It's insane. We have the Cubitus. So the Cubitus is here. I hope I'm saying it right. I don't know, Cubitus. Anyways, the Cubitus is here, and this has been a very interesting release for Patek Philippe. Before it was announced maybe a week or so before, we had a little leak situation going on. There is an ad for Cubitus in the Fortune magazine. So those kind of started going out and we saw a few pictures of the ads and everybody's like, is this a real watch? And then of course the polarization began and everybody started to say their opinions on it and this or that. So, I think when you first look at this watch, you have to first take one step back. If you're somebody who doesn't like square watches or shaped watches or non-round watches, you're not going to like this watch. And there's no amount of sugar, honey, whatever you want I could put on top of it that would make you, fall in love with that watch. Because it's a square watch. Obviously, it's a square piece. It's a square piece from Patek. So if you're not in love with square watches, if you don't like him, you're not going to love this piece. My biggest concern when I saw that it was going to be a square piece, that it looked like the leaks were going to be true, was just thickness. How thick is this watch? Because you can be square, but you can't be thick. If you're square and you're thick, you lean into JLC reversal squadron territory. Great watches, but they're square boxes. And, they're just not what you want from the traditional Universal family. And I think they have a little bit of cult following, but as a whole, the Squadra is kind of one of those watches, a lot of people don't even talk about it. Maybe even JLC wants us all to forget. I don't know. They're cool watches to me, but again, aesthetically in their own world. So when I saw this, my mind went immediately to the Squadra. Of course, I knew it wasn't going to be as thick as some of those Squadras were, but I was like, for this to really hit where it wants to hit, it has to be nice and thin. It's 8.3 millimeters thin, and that is perfection. So just to put that in reference, it is a little bit thinner than the 5712, which I think is 8.7 or 8.8, and it's just a little bit thicker than a 5811, which is I believe 8.1 or 8.2. So it's right in between those. If you ever handle a 5712 or 5811 or even a 5711, it's going to be around that realm, not too thick at all, and I think very, very wearable. The diameter that they're saying is 45 millimeters, so it is a little bit more of a sizable watch. You have to take with a grain of salt that it is a square watch, so how they're measuring the proportions are a little bit differently, but from all the wrist shots that we're seeing, it's a sizable piece. It's not going to be for everyone, I think, for sure. I think, those who have a little bit of a sizable wrist or enjoy a bigger watch like myself, I think this is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see one in the metal. So you have the 5821 in two variations: stainless steel green dial, stainless steel with rose gold, and a beautiful blue dial, kind of like the 5980/1AR. Love that color variation. And then you have the 5822, which is what everybody is most excited about. So this is their complication. So here you have a big date up at 12 o'clock. That's an instantaneous big date as well, which is very important. You got your sub-seconds, moon phase, and your date, kind of giving you the 5712 variation, but without a power reserve and adding a date. I think this is a great complication. Really, I'm a fan of the 5712. So for me, I love that asymmetric setup. I like seeing a big date in Patek Philippe. especially instantaneous one, just because that means they went a few extra levels to make sure everything snaps on time, and I love that. And I think it looks good. This one's in platinum as well, on that fabric composite style leather strap, which I really love. Even have a baguette diamond at 6 o'clock on the case instead of a round brilliant. So really nice touches all the way around. I think all these are gonna do great. I do think these won't be, after the first couple years. First year, unobtainium, nobody be able to touch them. They're gonna go crazy. But I think we fast forward 2-3 years from now, 2027, 2028. I think these will be normal pieces in the collection. Maybe they'll go a little bit of a premium just because all sports watches go for premium. But I do think these are gonna be for who they're for, but they really weren't meant for everybody, if that makes sense. And it's interesting to me that everybody's kind of being polarized or pinpointed on this particular release, but we forget that Patek gives us so many different releases throughout the year, and I think they've been on a real good roll. I think Mr. Stern said he wanted a square watch, so they made a square watch. I think there are a few complaints you could have if you were looking for something totally, completely new, unlike anything ever they made before. This isn't it, because it's very much, in my opinion, an extension of the Nautilus family. Just look at the bracelet. It's a Nautilus bracelet on that. The colors, the feeling, it's all Nautilus. I personally don't have a problem with that. But if you're somebody who were looking for a completely different direction or different thing from Patek, you didn't get that. So sorry. But for a nice, great sports watch release, the price is a little bit up there, in my opinion, starting around $41,000. But again, these watches are so hard to attain anyways. At retail price, you don't really doesn't really matter too much. And I think that's why we see with all the brands, they're having struggles with what a retail price is. And I'll save that for another episode. But I think these are great watches. Again, they're who they're for. They're for people who enjoy square watches, or people who wanted a sporty piece from Patek. Maybe they didn't love the Nautilus, maybe they love the Nautilus, but like this a little bit better. But it's not for everybody. It's not meant for everybody. And I think that's great. I think Patek still, does things how they want to do it. They're having fun. They're being a little bit experimental with this. There are rumors out there that there will be a smaller case size to this and additional complications as well. So I think that's amazing. And we know that from Patek too, right? We know usually when they enter into a collection, they'll give us a taste here. They give us steel, platinum, and two-tone. So that there's going to be more variations coming out there. And I think this would be a line that does very, very well for them. But let's see, man. It's up for the people to decide. You guys let me know what you think. Are you guys fans of the Cubitus line? Do you guys think it's a dud? Do you think it's the greatest thing ever? Or do you think it's something in between? Please let me know. I would love to know your thoughts on this, and I'm super excited for when we get one in, which knock on wood, will probably be sooner than later. We're already seeing that these are at ADs, so people probably will start taking deliveries of these very soon. The VVIPs probably already have some on their wrist, but we're seeing that there's a lot of exhibition models available all over the world, which is awesome. I really love that brands are releasing and then having pieces for people at least to try on. Maybe you can't order it, but at least you could try on, see if something that you want to dedicate, some time to get in or something like that. And I think it's great. So kudos to Patek, man. I think this is a great release. I think this is fun. I love the complicated one, and then it's a two-tone for me. I just love steel, gold, and blue dial. It's just a specific color variation that's it's just a lot of things, like my school colors and stuff like that. That rose gold and blue just kind of matches up. The green is nice, but it's too much like the 5711 green, in my opinion. And I'd rather have that than this, in my personal opinion. But let's see what the market says and what demand from the people is. And I'm very excited just to see, again, they're not afraid of being experimentative. You can see with how Mr. Stern is even responding. He's using words like haters and how he thinks these aren't for the haters. They weren't going to buy it anyways, which is honestly right. I think we're in a world where everybody has an opinion, which is great, as you should. But sometimes you get into releases like this where everybody kind of pinpoint like, oh, maybe I don't love this watch, but like, what about the other 10 or so references that they released this year? What do you think about that? Like, we really should, a brand is much more than one piece. Even though there are certain brands that have made themselves about one watch in their collection or one family of watches, many brands still enjoy having many different variations in their collections, and I think Patek Philippe is one of them. And I love this. I think this is fun and experimentative. Again, tell me what you guys think. Excited to find out. Comment down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to keep seeing videos like this. And since we're talking Patek, you know I had to do it for the watches of the week. Is an all Patek lineup. So I have 3 really great watches I think you should consider for your collection if you want to dive into the Patek realm. First, you have a Patek Philippe 5135J. This is a Gondolo Calendario, one of my personal favorites when you're looking back in the Patek catalog. These weren't made for too long. I think around a 6 or 7 year production run in the mid 2000s. Cushion shape, annual calendar with the moon phase. You get them in a few different variations. I love the yellow gold version. You have here yellow gold with a silvery dial. Very clean, classic variation. Again, you get a complicated piece. You're getting something that's not going to look like most of Patek's out there. Something from the Gondolo family, which they do so many unique things. It's awesome to get a piece of that for your collection. Full set, excellent condition, 24,875. These are excellent values if you're looking for complicated Patek. I still think today complicated Patek Philippe watches on straps are great values, especially if you're willing to go into the early 2000 models. You can find some amazing values, some pieces that are just very unique, not like anything else out there. And, you know, again, great values, but still you're going to see consistent growth with these over time as, you know, different waves of vintage love and neo-vintage love and appreciation comes to different models. So I think 5135J at this price point, really good pickup. And again, there's nothing else out there like it. You know, for that price, this is cheaper than many time-only Calatravas. Full annual calendar, full set, jump on it. Next up, another unique piece. This is a Patek Philippe 5522A, Calatrava pilot's watch made for the New York exhibition. I want to say a few years back, it was back 2017. So time flies. I love this because you get basically everything from the 5524G pilot's watch, but you get a steel case, you get a cleaned up dial without the travel time. So again, aesthetically, you're getting something very unique from Patek Philippe, and they are literally no other watches that look like this, especially when you're talking modern Patek Philippe. If you go back into the vintage pilots, you might find something, but nobody's wearing those around the wrist. This one's full set, unworn, new old stock, which is really nice, a really good collector's piece. 55,875 price point, really good price point for these as well. These were much higher and they've kind of leveled out really good. And again, gives you a nice way to collect something unique to you, unique to your collection. Not everybody's gonna have something like it, but in terms of, you know, average Patek Philippe, this is not breaking the bank. Limited to 600 pieces as well. So you know there is some exclusivity there. My only suggestion, take it off of that Kafkin strap. Nothing wrong with that. But with that beautiful blue dial, you could have so much fun. I do fabric straps. I do even shiny croc with that. I do different shades of blues and maybe some light camel browns as well. I think will go really good and really accentuate that blue dial and that loom that you get for the numerals. A lot to play there. Now, last but certainly not least, we have a 5711G. So this is a white gold Nautilus on a leather strap. A lot of people don't know that during the lifespan of the 5711, there was a short run of precious metal pieces. So there is a 5711G like this in white gold. There is a rose gold, and there's a 5711J in yellow gold. And those are really nice pieces to collect because you get the 5711, you get all the feels and looks and vibes of the 5711, but you get something exclusive, something a lot of people don't even know exists. And it's just a really special piece. And again, prices compared to even steel 5711s are, you know, not even close. So you get a great deal, especially this one. So this is no warranty card, but you do have service papers dated 2022. Excellent condition. I've seen this one, really good condition, 63,875. Really good piece of, again, you're looking for something unique, exclusive, but in that Nautilus family. You don't want to get just a normal steel blue dial or white dial Nautilus. Get the 5711G, get a few different straps. You can have a lot of fun there because it's just a classic, timeless piece. But I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm CQ the Watch Guy, and you know what to do. Buy what you love.